Discover the long-forgotten simple law of nature used by the ancient tribes, jungle warriors, and lost clans around the world for thousands of years to effortlessly sculpt sexy, powerful, avatar-like six-pack loaded bodies and enjoy boundless energy throbbing through your veins. In this video, I'm going to show you why plugging back into nature is going to revolutionize the way you go about losing weight, and why it is the best way to supercharge any diet, fast-tracking your results, saving you time, money, and making it simple to get the body and the vibrant energy you desire more quickly than you ever imagined. This is a powerful short course. We're going to show you sacred, forgotten natural wisdom used by ancient cultures for thousands of years. This is simple, it's intuitive, it's practical, and it's grounded in modern science, and you can apply it straight away to get amazing results and use this for the rest of your life. You are going to crave life-giving foods that will nourish, energize, and protect your body. What you will get is that you'll learn the top 4 reasons why you need nature's miracle principle. You're going to totally get nature's miracle principle by the end of this short course so that you can then go and teach someone else, because we all know that when you teach someone else, you learn it far faster and you apply it on a much deeper level. We're going to give you a reminder poster to print out and stick on your fridge, and that will show you which foods to avoid and which ones you can replace. And also we're going to show you the tools you're going to need in the kitchen to bring you success. We're going to move really fast, but you can watch this again and again and you can take notes, and I promise you it'll be well worth your time invested. Now, you may be wondering why I actually have the credibility to get in front of you and talk to you about this, and the truth is that although I have credentials as far as being the former Victorian Chair of Nutrition Australia, I've actually studied nutrition for over 25 years. I've been the Melbourne President of Slow Food, and I'm presently the curator and co-founder of the World Wellness Project, and I literally speak to thousands and thousands of people each year on food and its connection to well-being. The thing that most qualifies me to speak to you beyond my passion and the fact that this is my life's mission is the fact that I've actually been twice my size. As you can see from the photos of me in the pants I used to wear, the size pants that I used to wear, that not 10'4", 5'2", and twice my size 16. I've actually had the worst of eating habits, and I know what it's like to live off the lethal recipe, and not just the weight that it puts on your body, but the fact that it actually sucks the life force out of you. And when you switch to nature's principle, when you actually lose weight using nature's principle, you not only have this beautiful youthful glow and this tons of energy, but you look amazing. You actually start to reverse the aging process. It's phenomenal. Top 5 reasons why you need nature's principle now. This truly could save your life. Number 1, you need to stop the damage. Are you making these deadly mistakes? Do you realize there are ingredients in your cupboard right now, in your kitchen, that are not only dangerous, they're making you sick and tired and sucking the life force out of you? And the crazy thing is often they're marketed as healthy foods. Would you like to know what they are? They're what I call the lethal recipe. And if you took these 5 things out of your supermarket, just these 5 things, and said nothing in the supermarket could contain any one of these ingredients, you'd barely have a handful left of ingredients that you could buy. They are refined salts, chemically clean salts, refined oils, refined fats, refined sugars, refined grains, and chemicals. A supermarket without those things would almost be empty. And the thing is they're not only in almost every single food, but they're responsible for disease. They're responsible for the nutrients in your food being diminished, eliminated, and they can actually, even if you're eating nourishing foods, they can actually contribute to those nutrients that you're getting in your body being sucked out. The other thing that's making us sick is actually our thinking. You know that Einstein said we cannot solve a problem with the same consciousness that created that problem. And the thing that actually created this problem is our quick fix mentality, or our natural desire for convenience. You come by it honestly. You're genetically predisposed to find the easiest way to where you're going. And that actually helped us and served us for a very long time. It helped us to evolve to the point where we actually had amazing things like computers and the internet. Without our convenience, we wouldn't be here where we are, that you can actually visualize this and see this over the internet. But the problem is when it comes to food, we've taken it too far. So that quick fix convenience mentality combined with what has actually happened, our trusting of numbers and science and data over the internal wisdom of our intellect, intuition, and instinct. Because our bodies are constantly communicating to us what we need and if we've eaten something that's not quite right for it. But the problem is we actually have to be still and incredibly observant to find out what it is that feeds our body, nourishes it, and that which makes us sick. If you're eating a lot of highly processed foods, what happens is your body actually becomes saturated with those foods and you don't understand and notice the subtle communication that your body's constantly giving to you. Did you know that food manufacturers are doing simply shocking things to your food? Things that if you knew the extent to which they processed it, the toxic chemicals that they processed your food with, and the toxic results that actually happens to the food because of this extreme processing, it would literally blow you away. I actually have a loaf of bread that I bought 7 years ago, and I took it on my travels with me because I thought it was cute. It was crustless bread. And I kept it in my suitcase for 12 days and it never grew any mold. I brought it back to Australia, put it out on my island bench, and tried to dry it out, and after 4 days it was still soft. I threw it back in the bag, soft, and 7 years later it's never grown any mold in it. This is seriously toxic food. This is dead food, it's chemical-laden food, and it's making you sick if you're eating this kind of thing. This is the actual bread. In fact, the printing, as you can see, is coming off the bag. But the crumbs in the bag have just started to turn yellow last year. Okay, they were completely white until then. It does smell foul, but there's no mold on it. Why would they be doing this to our food? Isn't it more expensive to actually put all these chemicals in? Well, the truth is that shelf life is the biggest factor that determines profit on the supermarket shelves. The longer they can keep something on the supermarket shelves, the more money they're going to make. The other thing too that's regularly practiced within food industry is that they put in things like refined sugar, salts, oils, and grains, and a host of chemicals that actually are addictive to the body. So when you're eating them, what happens is you get this high from the drugs in food, and then after a little while, just as with any drug, you go through a little low. And it's in that low that people kind of feel grumbly and uncomfortable, and they seek another high, and so they tend to find other processed foods, not natural foods, that would even them out. The other thing that happens is when these foods are highly processed, all the nutrients are actually removed, or certainly most of them. And even the ones that are left behind through the extreme processes, they're actually changed. So the nutrient might be there, but it's in a different form than in its natural state, and so it has a different impact and effect on the body. So you can be eating a large volume of this food, highly processed food, and your body's signaling to you, feed me more, I'm not getting what I need. So what happens is we end up eating way more food than we need, and as a result, of course, we gain weight. The number 2 reason you need Nature's Principle for is to lose weight the natural warrior style. Now, I would like to practice a bit of transparency here. For many years, I was not overly excited about working with clients about weight loss. I was much more interested in them getting healthy. But I noticed something really odd happening. They would actually be coming to me after we'd been working together for a while, having success, doing things like conquering diabetes, not having insulin anymore, reversing heart disease, reversing cancer, reversing chronic fatigue, and having amazing amounts of energy. And collectively, what they were most excited about was how much weight they'd lost. And so for me, I had to start thinking, well, what is it about weight loss? Because there's superficial weight loss that's purely about vanity. But then there's something much deeper in humans. And there's this weight loss that comes from actually living in the body that we're meant to be living in, a healthy, fit, and vital body. Because many people can actually lose weight unhealthily. You can lose weight on the lethal recipe, the coffee, cigarette, and vodka diet, but you're not going to be healthy. And you're not going to look and have that beautiful glow and that ageless beauty about you, and your skin won't be as taut and terrific. Whereas if you actually embrace Nature's Principle, you can actually have that Na'vi warrior toned body. I'm sure you've seen Avatar, the movie. It's amazing, and you see these Na'vi warriors running through the jungle, and you have this amazing kind of fitness. Well, Nature's Principle naturally gives that to you. And we all know that the more weight that you have, the higher risk of disease you have. Just so you know, you can be just as unhealthy in a thin body as an overweight body, but you increase your chances of disease in an overweight body because you're not meant to be fat. Our harmonious state in nature is a fit, healthy, vital body without excess fat. Look at the tribes around the world, and you look at them in their traditional states before the introduction of refined foods, and they had these beautiful, fit bodies. When you follow nature's principle, the weight will literally fall off more quickly and easily than you can ever imagine. The number 3 reason you need nature's principle is to get more energy. Imagine having the energy you want to climb a big tree. You see, the biggest crisis we face on the planet today is not a petrol crisis, it's a human energy crisis. Our lifeless food is making us lethargic. It is literally sucking the life force out of us. And we're limping through each day on critical energy levels without even knowing it. You would be shocked if you realized how critically low your energy level is. It creeps up on you. And when you realize that your energy levels could literally be 3, 4, 500% more than they are now, you get excited. We are nothing but energy fields. Yet how can we have no energy? It doesn't make sense. Following nature's principle, you will crank up your life force and energy. When you follow nature's principle, you will be energized, you'll feel amazing, and when you wake up and have energy that not only powers you through the day, that when you get home you have excess energy to do the things you love with the people you love. You're going to nourish yourself at a cellular level. You're going to create vibrant health in all systems of the body. And you're going to become a finely, highly tuned, high-performance vehicle, just like those Navy warriors. You're going to be fully alive and present during quality time with the people you care about most. The number 4 reason you need nature's principle is to avoid disease and get well. Wellness is your birthright. Everyone knows it is no fun getting sick. And we know that every single day the stats are telling us how many more people are getting sick. Do you know our life expectancy isn't actually increasing? Without infant mortality rates, we would actually see that we are dying younger and with less quality of life. We have reached a point in human history where there are more obese people on the planet than there are starving people. The stats are telling us that we're getting sicker day by day. Thousands of people around the planet are getting diabetes where once it was a rare occurrence. Heart disease has just been surpassed as the number 1 killer by cancer. 1 in 3 people will get cancer. What you'll find is as soon as you start to embrace a cleansing way of living, nature's principle, and you give the lethal recipe a flick, you will find that you will have amazing mental clarity. So no more brain fog, no more walking into a room and finding that you've forgotten why you're actually in there. That's not just a sign of aging, that's a sign of malnutrition. A lot of kids are getting that now, where they're actually forgetting and their memory is really, really poor. When you start to embrace nature's principle, what you'll actually find is you have this brilliant mental clarity that allows you to remember so much more and to think so much faster. It's absolutely amazing. Remember, wellness is your birthright. You deserve to have amazing, vibrant, beautiful health. The number 5 reason you need nature's principle is to look and feel younger. We are aging far more rapidly than we should be. The elements in the lethal recipe are the fastest way to age your body. You want to get back to a normal, graceful, natural aging process. You're going to look years younger even after 1 month of following nature's principle. You not only will look amazing and have glowing skin, but you're going to feel more passionate about life, and you literally will start turning heads in public. The promise of nature's principle. When you follow nature's principle and use it in your daily life, you will end nutritional confusion forever. The most common questions I get asked: what about soy, vitamins, calcium, protein, dairy? Is cow's milk the best form of calcium? Can I get protein from just vegetables? All those kinds of answers will be solved when you understand nature's principle. You won't have to be in fear anymore. See, fear is the biggest tool the food industry uses against you. And you're going to develop an absolute certainty of what it is that you're meant to be eating and when you're meant to be eating it. And not only that, you're going to actually save a lot of money. When you stop buying the lethal recipe and invest your money in nature's principle, you're going to find that your grocery bill not only is less, but your healthcare and medical bills completely disappear. What nature's principle can do is supercharge any other program by simply overlaying it on top of it for those warrior-like effects on your body. So where did we go wrong? How did we actually get in this place for all our technological advancements? Why is it that we're actually suffering from far more lifestyle diseases than those cultures we consider primitive? We basically deviated from nature. You see, nature actually had everything for us to plug into to get the nutrients that we needed to do the things we needed to get through not just the day, but our lives in good health. And there was a point at which we actually took convenience too far, where we started to take things that were natural, conveniently available in nature, and natural, and we changed them from being even more convenient so we could use them out of season, we could use them at times when they wouldn't have been available or when they normally would have gone off had we left them in nature. So we actually took a turn and we took it to the point where you could no longer get it in nature. And that's where the lethal recipe comes in. The way we actually process our foods is to the point where we've taken those beautiful life-giving nutrients that protected us against disease, and we've literally processed them out of the food. So what happens is we're actually eating this food, we're eating a volume of food. You can actually eat a whole meal and after the whole meal think, I'm kind of peckish, I'm kind of hungry. And essentially what that is it's your body's way of saying, feed me more, I'm not getting enough of the nutrients that I need to protect you against disease and sickness, to give you the energy that you want. The further we deviate, the weaker and sicker and more vulnerable we become. The less we move our bodies, the weaker and more vulnerable to disease we become. And the moment we trust someone outside of us, what feels better than the act of listening and observing what makes our bodies feel better from a deep place that is grounded and lasting? We become more vulnerable. The moment we trust numbers, measures, scales, data, charts, and lists over what has worked in nature for thousands of years, the more we can be manipulated and the more vulnerable to not trusting the intuition, intelligence, and instinct encoded in our DNA, encoded in our psyche. That instinct, that intelligence, that intuition is designed to provide us with everything that we need to engage in a high level of self-care. You see, the moment our food becomes excessively complicated, it's no longer natural. Plants are incredibly complex, as is the human body. But to nourish the body is incredibly simple when we listen to and observe nature. Partaking of the lethal recipe, the excessive refining and processing of our food, the further our incredibly powerful naturally occurring foods are taken from their state of origin, and the less power they have to nourish, energize, and protect the body, and the more potential they have to make you sick and weak. And so we're eating a large volume of food that's full of chemicals now. It's changed, its molecular structure has changed so the body no longer readily identifies it. And what happens is those extreme processes also have different effects of that food than in our body. And many of those foods are indigestible. Many of them inhibit the absorption of nutrients or actually strip nutrients out of the body. And in the end, we're left with this kind of pseudo food, or what I call our Star Trek foods. You know, it's food, Jim, but not as we know it. So we think we're actually eating food when in fact we're eating pseudo foods that are filling us up space-wise, but they're not nourishing us. We have disconnected from nature as our major food source and the life force energy it provides. We are part of nature. When we live in harmony with nature, we're fine. When we disconnect from nature and we live off processed foods, synthetic medicines that the body doesn't recognize, we come out of harmony with nature and we become sick. We lose our energy, we put on weight, and we get miserable. All we need to do is to put down the things we're doing and plug back into nature one day at a time. Put down everything else and get back to nature. When you do this, you won't need to go on a diet. You won't need to slice it off, burn it off, starve it off, or fight it off. It will fall off. Plug back into nature. The farther away and the longer you are unplugged, the less energy you will have and the more vulnerable to disease you will be. Nature's principle is your compass, and nature is the place where you actually go to get charged, to get pumped up, to get the life force put into you that you're designed to actually live with. If you think about a mobile phone, as soon as you unplug it from the socket, the battery charge starts to go down. Same thing for a human body. The further we are from nature, the further we are away from the source that actually keeps our batteries charged. If you want more energy, you need to start to look at nature's principle, because it has everything that you need to understand what it is you're meant to be doing. When you realize how amazing your body is, what a high-performance vehicle it is, and that every little thing that passes through your lips determines the function, the quality, and the longevity of that vehicle that you're driving for life, without a trade-in, I might add, you start to make very different decisions. We want to teach you more about how to apply nature's principle in your daily life. So please keep your eye out for the next video. I truly look forward to sharing this amazing concept with you, because I know the impact it can have on your life and those around you you love. Talk to you soon. Is that a wrap, Eddie?
Yeah, it's a wrap, Sherry.
Oh great, I'm so hungry. Let's go for a greasy burger or pizza, okay?
Oh, yes.
Just kidding. Watch out for the next video, and we'll see you soon.